Hello everyone, I'm Marsha Baker and welcome to Sermon Sketchnote Boss. We are wrapping up Sketchnote Summer Camp where we're doing fun things using our doodling skills to just document our summer, and hopefully we're seeing all the places the Lord's showing up. And I just love what I'm seeing you guys post. And if you're not posting, I'd really encourage you to post something in the Sketchnote Boss Facebook group. And if you're not a part, I'd really love it if you would join us at the Sketchnote Boss uh, Facebook group and just answer a few questions and we'll get you in as soon as we can. And I would also be very, very blessed if you tell a few friends about us as well. So today we are going to draw a treehouse because actually I will show you what was my inspiration. So I know a lot of you that are in the Sketchnote Boss Facebook group know Lorraine, and she sent this to me earlier in the summer that her grandson drew. I think he's 7. And so I just thought, oh, treehouse. Um, we used to have a fort that was kind of like a tree house we built for the boys, which is long gone. But I don't know that I've ever been up in a tree house. I know when my sister went to Norway, she actually stayed in a tree house. So I bet that was a very interesting experience. But anyway, so I thought a tree house would be just a lovely place to just kind of symbolize that place where we go to get away and just have peace and quiet and solitude, and just sometimes to think and just dump all the noise of our brain so we can just make room, just make some space so we can hear what the Lord has to say to us. So um, my space is the garden. So I don't know if you can see that really well, but this is my back area. So we have sort of a little fenced in area, and I love the daylily. I really love the daylily. I probably have 32 different kinds of daylilies last time I checked. So anyway, so they're just the most amazingly beautiful flower. Unfortunately, they only last a day and then they disappear. But fortunately, most of a plant will have 20 or 30 blooms on it, so it will bloom for several weeks. And then we have this little patio area, and I have this glider that I just love to sit on. So anyway, so our treehouse is symbolizing just that place where we can go to just get rest, because we just need to be still. And so my next post is going to be doing a sermon on being still and knowing that I'm the Lord. So all right, let me zip back. Is that all right? Hang on. There we go. All right. I am going to get these buttons straight sooner than later. So this is my treehouse from my Sketchnote Summer Camp work fun book. It's not a workbook, it's a fun book, or fun activity book. And so I just thought I'd show you really quickly how I would do that. And then I also did this one. And if you look at my post, I have this crazy tree I saw from National Geographic. It's actually flipped the other way, but it kind of looks like this. And I thought, oh, that might be a fun place to way to draw a tree. And then I'll explain kind of what I did here, because I'm actually going to take time and do this one in watercolors. So we're going to actually do this one together. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. So hopefully it's going to be awesome. All right. But this tree, so there we go. Let me flip this over. So the way I did this tree is I'm going to just be brave, and I'm just going to use my little Sharpie pen here. And so the beautiful thing about this is once I did the Sharpie pen, I did go back over with a heavier pen to kind of make little darker lines. But I'm just going to draw these 3 spaces, and then I'm going to draw the trunk, and then I'm just going to fill it in with little squiggly lines to make our tree. And then once I get that all done, then I watercolored it in, and I'll talk about watercolor. So I started here, right, with part of a house. And so you don't want to like fill that in, because you want trees to come. I want to be very partial, so I'm just going to draw a circle window, right, something like that. Again, we're not and then if you want, you can draw a roof line if you want, or you can just draw it all in wood planking. That's fine. And then I'm going to come down here and draw another room. All right. So how I get to room from room to room. So this is my whimsical tree. So I have a son that's a civil engineer, and I feel like if I showed this to him, he'd kind of like point all the crazy reasons why this house could never be built given this tree. So, but that's okay. It's just my crazy, whimsical place to be, my place of solitude. So there's that. So I kind of drew the three spots. So I just drew the three spots, and then I'm going to draw the trunk. So I am going to draw a big limb, okay, coming over there, and I'm going to make my tree fairly thick, right? So basically you can kind of see, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you can kind of see that it's got roots coming out, and it's okay because this is a very old tree, so it's got some roots um, on top of roots over there. And then we'll make those, and then I did give this a little definition here. You can kind of see I came in with, so it kind of came up like that, and kind of, just to kind of indicate we've got some girth to this tree, so it can house our tree house, right? So, all right. And so here, so I created some depth in this right there. And then I came along my lines and just added some depth that kind of showed that they were nice big muscly parts of the tree to create some shadow. So come along, and then you want to come along here. So I'm not going to take time to do this whole thing, to just kind of give you some ideas. So got that. All right, so now it's time to just start doing some crazy kind of little half circle-y kind of things like that. Um, all right, so you can kind of do that, and then so I'm going like that, right? And then I'm also coming up and doing it the other way, right? Up and down, right? Right? And you can make this tree as big as you want. And then you can also come back in, right? So, and then add planking to the rooms of your tree house, and then add some planking to your ceiling, kind of a roof, kind of covering that all in. And then you can just go back. So to paint this, so basically I've kind of made a coloring page, right? And so I'm going to use my watercolors. I'm just going to make that part of the tree, right? There we go. I'm going to start with this lighter, because you can kind of see I've kind of got some light coming in from the back based on my colors. So basically I started the whole thing with a very yellow green, and then I came in and kind of did a little bit lighter green in the middle of these places, and then on the edges then I started adding darker greens. And then so the whole key is just lots of different variations of green, just because no tree is just exactly the same color. The way the light hits it, and the front of the leaves and the back of the leaves, and there's just so many dynamic things that are going on with the tree, and the wind and the movement. You can see that a tree is never just one color. So adding more colors of green, you can add a little blue, add a little yellow, add a little black to your greens if you only have one green, to create some different greens. And that is then going to give you a lot of depth on your tree. I used brown and some red brown on the houses, and some gray on the roof, and then a couple of different colors of brown on the body. So that's what I did for that. So I can't wait to see your tree house. And then let's talk about this tree house. And you'll notice that I have some yellow things here, and so two things. See, I like to show you my mistakes so that you are not going to get so wagged out when you all make mistakes. So, because, you know, sometimes mistakes can turn into very happy accidents. But I decided, oh, you know what? This could just be just a fun place to celebrate, and I just wanted it to be fun. So I thought I'd add some lights. And then, of course, you know, a light in the middle of the window in the middle of the treehouse. But then I came in and then I decided to draw these banners, but you can see that I did it after I drew everything else. And technically I should have drawn this first. Like, you know, ideally you'd probably want to draw the whole thing in pencil, make sure you got your whole concept down before you ink it. But I was impatient and I didn't do it that way. So what I decided to do was go ahead and mask these spaces. So when I paint around it and I have these colors, then I can rub it off, and then I can come in with really dark colors, and then you won't see the lines. And it looks like I would put it there in the first place. Hopefully. Okay, it may not work that way, but that's my vision. So let's get started. Um, oh, let me show you. Here's the masking tape, and I'll put a link to this. It's the Winsor Newton, so that's a good brand. Winsor Newton is a very good brand, and so it gets a little yellow at the bottom. Just kind of shake it up, and it's kind of like just a really thin coat of rubber cement. You could actually use rubber cement, although I find it is so clear it's sometimes really hard to see what you're putting where. So it's art masking fluid. So that's, and for watercolor. So that's what I use. So I'll put a link on the website for that. And then let's just get going. So, oh, let me show you. And then, and that's my husband calling me while I am recording. So anyway, hopefully he'll know that I'm recording. So, all right. Um, so I got these new watercolors, and they come in little palettes like this, and it's Kohinoor watercolor palettes. Anyway, so it's very, all right. So, well, those, for whatever reason, those aren't coming apart. Anyway, I think those are plenty of colors. So I just love this because then you can just really just use the palettes that you want. I think I got the 48 colors, and I think it's like $23. And they're very nice colors. They're very bold colors, and so I just got these, and so I'm just trying to figure out how to use them and such. So I thought I'd use these today. So, all right. So there's my colors. There we go. All right. Oh, well, heck, you know what? I wanted to show you how the, all right. So here's all the various colors, and so you can just get out the ones that you need, you know, and you can keep them all stacked up, and then they all come up to that little tiny stack, which is really nice. So this is just another choice for watercolors. So I know I'm going to need the greens today. Well, you know what? I have decided that rainbow is my favorite color, so I think I'm just going to keep them all out. But for the meantime, so I'm just going to use this red here. And so I painted, I know it's really hard to see, maybe you'll see that, just kind of see. So I painted just a little masking color, right? So you can kind of see it's in the back. So when that dries, we can rub it off, and then we can put any color we want in there. And so that's sort of the purpose of that masking fluid, is to keep those spots white that you want to keep white. All right, so now let's get to this. All right, so I just want to keep this going as quickly as I can. So I will post the finished product. So I'm just going to kind of show you how I'm putting the colors in. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm not really sure what colors I'm going to use. So I've got this little watercolor spray, and I'm just going to kind of give them all a little squirt. And then I'm going to just squirt my little tree, because I'm going to be really happy if they all bleed and play nice together. So So I decided I'm going to start with purple and just kind of put some color in. So again, I'm not doing anything. This is not that precise work that you see those lovely watercolor artists do. That's not what we're doing here. We are just kind of putting some color there. And again, this paper is going to buckle up. And I think this paper is, let's just see what this paper is. This is mixed media paper, which is 98 pound, which is good. Oh, see what happens when you move it. Hopefully that's going to be a happy accident. So then let's go maybe with some, actually, we're going to go with some blue. So let's go with some blue here, and maybe we might have some different color blues. But watercolor paper is generally 140 pounds. Right, so I'm going to come over here and get that blue. And if I wanted to come back and do some more purple to kind of get them to play together a little bit. And of course my table is, I'm not sure I like this drafting table. It's on an angle. I'm not really sure. In these situations, I really like that. All right, let's see how lovely they're playing together. So what's next in the color wheel is I'm going to do some pink before I do some red, I think. So I'm kind of let that play together a little bit. All right, just kind of let that all have fun. And then I guess we're going to get to the red. All right, so I've picked kind of a maroon red, and then I'm going to go to a, so, and then I might go back with my pink and kind of let that. All right, and then I'm going to go maybe start putting some orange in here. I didn't really mean to end with yellow, which I'm not actually. I'm going to end with green because that was the whole point. Was you got to have a little green on your trees, right? Whoops. Let's do yellow. So I'm going to kind of keep that. So actually probably I put a little more red and purple on there than I really intended to. That's okay. And then we're going to go with green. And just let everybody have a fun time, have a little party, kind of do a little mixing. Right? All right. And then maybe a little bit darker green, kind of in spaces. And so, and maybe I'm going to come over here, just do a little green over there to kind of bring it all together. And there you have. So, and you can move this around. You can decide it's too much, which I feel like it is. There's my Kleenex. So I'm just gonna, so it's kind of pooling. So I'm just gonna kind of maybe take some of that out of there. So kind of got a little muddy there. So I may just go back with some. I like the nice bright colors, but I don't want it to be quite so wet. So I'm just going to kind of keep it. There's that. So on watercolors, they tend to, watercolor paper, they play a little nicer together. All right, so I'm just going to let that be, and I may work on that a little more, kind of bring out some more yellows, but I'm just going to, for now, let it be. And then just kind of start working on my tree, and just kind of, so I can paint around. I don't have to be particular around the See, I'm going to add a little kind of a rust brown there. Fill out lines. It doesn't really matter because it's our little whimsical tree, right? And all right. And see how the colors kind of bled a little bit there, so I'm just going to let them have fun, and the green's going to bleed a little bit over there. So I'm just going to let everybody just kind of have a little fun because this is a watercolor and it's whimsy and it's meant to be fun. All right, so there's that. So there's the basics. And then probably when it's all dry, I'm going to come back with maybe like a night sky because I kind of got my lights. And really, I didn't really draw the horizon line. You know, that's not. There we go. I didn't really draw a background. There's my horizon line. So you can kind of. Anyway, so put the tree in the ground instead of it just having it fly. There we go. So that's kind of where we're going. And then I'm going to take a finer brush and maybe this color or this color. Maybe that color. Thought I'd paint the house kind of a beige yellow. And if I wanted to get crazy, I could put like a crazy blue roof on it or something. Maybe a purple roof, pink, orange, whatever speaks to you. So I'm going to put that all there. All right, what color? See? This is not a Facebook Live, so you all can't tell me what I should use for the roof. So I'm going to have to make a command decision. I am feeling orange because I didn't end up with a lot of orange on my tree. Maybe I'll put some orange there. Maybe I can add some more yellow later. Anyway, got a little muddy. So that is one thing you have to kind of worry about when you do some of those contrasting colors get together. You know, like yellow and blue, make a nice muddy brown. And if you need a nice muddy brown, that's all fine and dandy, but if you're not looking for a muddy brown, then it can kind of take the vibrancy out of your pictures. So, all right, so there's that. And then I am feeling a purple door. So, all right, and then, so since this is whimsical, let's do a blue rope. Actually, I'm going to change brushes, and I'm going to find a really fine brush. So this is, I don't know what this is. I can't read the number on it. Anyway, it's a tiny little brush. And we're just going to make a rope blue. And again, you can see when I've got masking fluid there. So if I'm going to make my background kind of a dark blue, so maybe this wasn't the best choice, you know, so who knows? I guess I can always go back over it with a different color, maybe a purple. All right. There we go. All right. So I am going to do the background a little bit later. I'm just going to let everything dry. And then when we're all done, I'm going to come back and I am going to, well, let's just see if our experiment is dry. Let's see if we can come back and we can just rub off that masking fluid. And you can see I didn't do a good job getting a really thick layer on it because I did get a little red in there. But, you know, if I was doodling, oh, it's right in the middle of my picture. You know, I could come back and just start doodling, and I could just doodle this whole area. If I was going to do something fun. You know what this looks like to me? See, I love finding shapes, so I'm going to continue on. All right. To me, it looks like a little bird. Well, I shouldn't have drawn that line there. So I'm just going to draw. I know feet don't go like that, right? And then we got little ears. And then so anyway, so there's just how the masking fluid works. Sorry. So thanks for joining in. Stay tuned. Check out the blog post because it's going to have everything done. And so if you are watching on YouTube, if you would subscribe, that would be huge. And if you are watching on the blog, if you would tell a friend, if you'd sign up for the newsletter, that would be huge because I just love sharing what I do and just showing you how simple this stuff is. So if you feel like you don't have the skills, you can just see that, you know, you just have to practice and you have to work on getting your muscle memory going of like learning how to draw that straight line. And just the more you practice, the better you're going to get. And so come along with me, come along on this journey because we're going to do this together. You can see I am no fine artist, but this is where I feel like I'm supposed to do is just share my knowledge, share my ideas with you, and let's just journey together and let's use it to worship the Lord and just grow closer to Him. So I'll see you in the next video, and in the meantime, I hope to see you in the Facebook group. See you later.